Welcome to the fourth edition of Browns Lab. The star of our show, Peanut, the Browns fan Labrador, and myself, the host, Aaron. All right, we're on the eve of the Browns' first preseason game, and I'm excited to kind of see how some of the backups play and who actually kind of makes the team. The final preseason game is usually all like a lot of the secondary players to kind of see how they play and see who makes the team. Those players are right on the bubble and whatnot. And to see that, so it'll be really cool to watch tonight how that all plays out. I actually want to talk a little bit of fantasy football. I actually play fantasy football. I've done pretty good the last couple of years. A few years ago I won, and then about 3 years ago I got second place in my league, and the year after that I got first place, and then last year I came in third place, although I was second in overall scoring. So I usually do pretty well. I was actually able to pick up Peyton Hillis last year in our draft. I picked him up pretty late. And I really just picked him up because the Browns were giving the ball a lot right at the goal line to punch it in. And they actually just ended up giving the ball to him a lot all year. And obviously he played phenomenal. So right off the bat, he's going to be a great pickup, Peyton Hillis. A couple guys that are going to be a little bit sleeper picks is one, I think Colt McCoy is going to have a really good year. I think now with the West Coast offense and being able to be the starting quarterback from day one, I think that he's definitely has enough talent and showed enough in the preseason to really do well. Even last preseason game, we didn't play as well against the Eagles. You got to remember, the Eagles are a Super Bowl caliber team. They're going to give a lot of people problems this year, and Colt McCoy is no exception. Luckily, the Browns don't play too many people like that on their schedule, so it'll be really cool to see. Another guy that I think is going to have a really good year is Evan Moore. Scott Fujita, the defensive linebacker for the Browns, he's was on the Saints Super Bowl team, and he obviously he's a veteran, has been around a long time. He thought the Evan Moore was actually the MVP of the preseason so far, and so it'd be really cool to see him play out and to see him play as well as that he probably will. I thought he'd probably be a good fantasy pick even before he had those few touchdowns with the last couple games and whatnot. Another guy might end up doing pretty well is Greg Little. It'll be really cool to see how he does and whatnot as a rookie, obviously, but he has a lot of potential and he might end up doing really well. All right, so I'm gonna go into some of the questions and whatnot. Some of the questions that I got in from different places. All right, I got first question comes from John in Ashtabula. His question was, why does everyone hate on Muhammad Massaquoi? He said he has a lot of talent and a 15.1 career yards per catch. All right, probably first thing that he's hated on is because he's on the Browns. And really the second thing, probably even the more important thing, is that he was on the Browns offense last year that once again I was so disappointed in the Browns offense the last couple of years. Just terrible schematics. They could have done so much better. They're really poor use of their wide receivers. I think a lot of top 10 receivers, that aren't, the best in the entire league, probably would not do well either in the Browns offense. But I was really excited to see him this year because I read that he was he's going around training with the best receivers in the league. I trained with like Larry Fitzgerald, like Roddy White, and Wes Welker, and all these guys, just kind of see what they do and how they train to be prepared for the regular season. So I was really excited to see him play, but then he showed up at the camp injured, and he had this bone fracture in his foot. So he just in the last couple days, like literally in the last 2 days, started practicing with the Browns for the first time. So it's gonna be really, really tough for him to catch on. But look for him to finish the season strong. I bet you after the first few games, watch for him to really play well. So. All right, next question comes from Stan from Geneva. He asks, who are the 3 leading receivers will be by the year's end for the Browns? All right, a couple guys we talked about. Evan Moore, I think he'll do really well. Obviously, health is a huge thing with all these receivers. You never know who's going to stay healthy or get hurt through the NFL season. That's going to be a huge thing. The other thing about the West Coast offense is they spread the ball around so much to different receivers that there really might not be a huge difference between like the second or third receiver and like the 5th receiver. Look for Evan Moore and, like I said, the rookie Greg Little to play well. And I think Muhammad Massaquoi will probably play well enough by the end of the year to to finish in the top 3. Another couple guys that could be right there in the mix. Josh Cribbs, his first year as a Browns receiver. Obviously, he had the amazing touchdown catch a couple weeks ago in preseason. It'd be really cool to see how he plays. Another guy that I really am a big fan of, even though he's been injured more than you'd like, is Carlton Mitchell. I feel like he has tremendous upside. If he can catch a break with injuries and stuff, I think he'll put up great numbers. And of course, the solid Brian Rubisky. I think that he's solid enough that he could definitely come into maybe like 3rd or so in the thing. All right, so final question today comes from Jim in Parma. And he's actually asked about the preseason game tonight. He says, who will win the Browns-Bears preseason game tonight? So I'm going to definitely say the Browns. Hello? No, I'll say the Browns. And he actually asked what the point spread is. I'll say 24-17. But the thing about the preseason, you never know. They're literally only going to play the starters, the people that will be playing normal games for like maybe a quarter, if that. So it'll be tough to see, but I think the Browns' backups will be good enough to play through. So it'll be really cool to see. Watch maybe the defense scoring a touchdown or so. So we'll have to see. Last thing, we got a shout out to Bow Down to the Cavs. So you gotta love some Cavs fans. And he's our newest YouTube subscriber. So if you want to shout out, be one of our YouTube subscribers, and we'll feature that. And of course, if you want to be featured on the next your question on the next Browns Lab, go to brownslab@yahoo.com, and you can you can email us the questions. So all right. So from the star of our show, Peanut, Browns fan Labrador, and Aaron, go Browns!